Hello everybody, Image here, and I'm back from a bit of a hiatus from casting StarCraft games, and I'm really pleased to be back, actually. Life has been a little bit crazy for me in general lately, with school and other things. My housemate, who's completely crazy, decided to move out, and so I'm looking to replace her. So, if any of you know of anyone in the Melbourne, Australia area who's looking for a place to live and is pleasant, then you might want to send them my way. But, yeah, I'm really pleased to be back casting some StarCraft after all this time. I'd been a little bit jaded with it, and I'm kind of excited to be back. I'm also feeling as though I'm pretty rusty at this, but it hasn't been that long. I think I'll be able to do okay. There's Jaedong. He is the first player in this MSL Semifinal match. It's a best-of-5 series. It's also Zerg versus Zerg, so I should actually have time to cast everything. There's his opponent, Calm for STX. Both of these are good players. Solid in all of their matchups. Calm is about a 55% career win rate, and he's about 55% in all of his matchups, so he's above average across the board. Just a very good player, very smart, strategic, has a lot going for him, has been able to just comprehensively outplay some other Zergs in recent times, most notably Effort in the previous round of this MSL, who he just outmaneuvered totally. Jaedong, well, what can I say about him that I haven't already? Zerg versus Zerg is a volatile matchup, but Jaedong versus Zerg is a whole different story altogether most of the time. I also think I've been having my microphone do a lot of popping, so I've just adjusted its position and hopefully that'll stop it. That is Calm in yellow at the top left, and in the bottom right, in red, is Jaedong. The map we're on is Carthage, and it's a two-player map, but it's a pretty big two-player map. There's a lot of ground for Zerglings to cover. That said, though, I still don't expect either of these players to go for a 12-hatchery build. It seems like a very risky way to start a best-of-5 series, and I think both players are going to play pretty safe in this opening, go for the 12 pool, and probably expand after that, after they have some Zerglings on the ground to defend. But we'll see. There's a metagame element here. Both of these players might think that that's what their opponent is thinking, and go for a build order advantage with a 12 hatchery over that. And then, it's always levels and levels of metagame, because then someone might try to be even more clever and think, well, I know that you know that a 12 hatchery will get the economic advantage and you suspect a 12 pool. So I'll go for 9 pool speed and just overrun you that way. And then another level of cleverness. Well, I know that you know that 9 pool speed beats 12 hatchery beats 12 pool, so I'm going to go back and cycle all over again with a 12 pool. And that is a 12 pool for both players. And there's the gas immediately following for Jaedong, and Calm's getting his now. So, mirror builds, standard and safe play. A pretty typical start to this Zerg versus Zerg best of 5. And while Calm has been, just to say a little bit more about statistics, Calm has been playing very strong StarCraft lately. His versus Zerg has been looking pretty good, very clever. Like I said, he's been outplaying Zergs, out-strategizing them. And that's always kind of impressive, because Zerg versus Zerg isn't really typically viewed as a matchup of strategy. It's more viewed as a matchup of mechanics, and this is why, for example, you have a player like Jaedong who can overcome all sorts of build order deficits just because his mechanics are so good. And so I think that's going to make this a really interesting match as well. So let's see what cleverness Calm has brought to this game. Meanwhile, Jaedong, such a strong Zerg versus Zerg player, such a strong player in general, because of his really solid mechanics. But yeah, his game has been looking a little bit shakier lately, especially through the Pro League recently, and he's got a lot on his plate, because the day after this game was being played, which is today, where I am, he has the OSL Semifinals, where he has a best-of-5 series against Fantasy. So he is a busy guy with a lot to prepare for. So we'll see how Jaedong's game is affected by all of this. The expansion's now up for both players, and Calm, his clever move was to hide some Zerglings in his natural expansion and move out with those. So Jaedong might have been fooled as to the number of Zerglings from Calm, but while Calm is attacking, Jaedong has run some Zerglings in of his own, and it'll be interesting to see who does more damage here. Calm, it looks like he's going to be able to take out a couple of drones. 2, maybe 3 drones there. On the other side of the map, I'm not sure how much Jaedong actually took out. I think the game is fairly even at this stage. It looks like both players have roughly the same number of drones mining there. And the spires are going up for Calm, somewhat ahead of Jaedong's. But look at Jaedong with some great Zergling micro there, picking off another drone, keeping Calm's attention divided, being all sorts of annoying while starting up his own spire. So both players trading blows here early. I think Jaedong came out slightly ahead on this exchange. It's hard to say. It might be pretty even. And Jaedong is still keeping his Zerglings marauding around the map. So, well, let's see. Calm's initial opening gambit with the hidden Zerglings, which he's been doing a lot of lately, and with some success. I believe he stumped the hell out of Zero with that move a couple of times recently, for example. That didn't work out so great for him this time, and he's massing up a large number of Lings over at his natural, though I'm sure Jaedong is scouting this. Or no, he's not. He doesn't have an Overlord in the vicinity. That's strange, but he doesn't need one apparently, because just as Calm's about to move out with those Lings, Jaedong map hacks and just slips a couple of Zerglings of his own into Calm's base. I don't know how much damage he's going to actually be able to do with this, but looks like he managed to get a drone off of that, so very impressive feats of micromanagement by Jaedong here, but a lot of Zerglings coming in for Calm. It doesn't look like Jaedong's going to have time to fully block that choke, and Calm is not going to split his force. He's going to go straight into the main, but just as that happens, Jaedong's Mutalisks pop, and the splash damage from those bouncing Glavorms is going to really help Jaedong clear that up with minimal losses. On the other side of the map, what has Calm got? Now that Jaedong has about 6-7 Mutalisks, Calm's got his first few out as well, and it looks like this is going to be a pretty typical standard Zerg game in that it's going to come down to a big Mutalisk battle, and whoever is going to have the better micro here is going to take the game, all things being equal. It looks like both players have roughly even numbers of Mutalisks, so it's not going to be just brute numbers doing this. It's going to take some precision control for either player to wrest a big advantage. And yeah, that and timing and location of attacks. Jaedong's got this drone kind of idle over in his main base. I don't know what that's going to do. Kind of surprised it's not mining. But anyway, both players have some options here. They can go for harassments on the drone line, but because the map is a fairly large one, there's a lot of ground between the two bases, they would be leaving themselves open to counterattacks if they did that. It looks like Jaedong is going to engage Calm over inside of his main base, and it looks like he's getting a couple of free hits off. He's also attacking on a second front at that natural expansion with some Zerglings. And running battle, Jaedong taking a few free hits on his Mutalisks, but it looks like he has some Scourge joining up. And Calm's Mutalisks, where did they go? So, very nice Mutalisk micro by Jaedong. Very nice Zergling micro earlier in the game. Jaedong, he looks exhausted, but his game is not suffering for it from the look of it. He played that very well. It looks like he could have won that one in his sleep. And Calm just looking perhaps a little bit stunned, but mostly just like his namesake, he's looking pretty calm about this too. So, that's game 1. GG. Pretty standard, not necessarily the most exciting game around, but the series should only heat up from here. I'm going to keep casting it. I'll see you guys all in game 2. And, yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's any sort of closing words that I want to add to this. Nothing much else to say about the game, but thanks for watching my videos. I had some people subscribe while I wasn't posting anything. Thanks to you guys for that, and I hope to sort of reward you for this with some nice videos in the future. Thanks very much for watching. See you in game 2. Image out.